Welcome to the Digital Amateur Television Experimenters Night. This is VK7 OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania. Amateur radio is a worldwide hobby that has many different aspects. Digital television is just one of the many modes and areas that are covered. Maybe you're interested in becoming involved in the DATV Experimenters Nights. You realise that you do not have to be a radio amateur or need any ATV equipment to participate anywhere in the world. Also participate in the night by coming up to the Queen's Domain club rooms. Yes, right on top of the Queen's Domain in the heritage-listed Coast Wireless Station. You never know, we might get you in front of the camera or behind doing one of the many roles during the night. We get underway with our program on a Wednesday night from 7:30 p.m. local time. We'll see you soon. This is VK7 OTC.
Alright, this is VK7 OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania. I'm wearing the t-shirt. Bit of gratuitous advertising. Ready for the open day on Sunday. So, yes, yeah. And I have guest Ron Cullen, regular contributor, in the studio with me. Hello, Ron.
Hello, Justin.
How you going?
I'm going well, thank you.
And how was your Australia day?
I built an antenna today. Something I don't normally do. And it worked so well, I thought I'd come along and share it this evening.
Really should become an amateur. You've been building, what, 5.8 gig antennas and all sorts of things with the radio control. So yeah. Anyway, so tell us the story.
Right, it all started with a trip to the Sorel markets. One day. Okay. We're wandering through the aisles and come across this little DAB radio, a digital radio. Yep. And brand new in the box, I was just selling it for $10.
Okay.
And I thought, well, that's got to be a bargain. So we bought this thing. I thought, have a bit of a listen to some DAB stuff. And got it home. It takes batteries. Okay. Also, you can plug a little DC power pack into it. Okay. And it works well, but where we wanted to run it, all it had was a little telescopic antenna. Okay. And if you're sort of in a fairly open area, it works quite well. But as soon as you get into a room or something, it sort of signal drops off and it doesn't work very well. So it was...
The digital cliff effect.
It was very annoying. It's especially when something good would come on, it would decide to shut down. And you had to move it all around the place and try and get it to work. So I've got to do something better than that. So I had a bit of a rummage around the place, and I recall purchasing a USB TV dongle, and it had one of those UHF, VHF little patch antenna things on it.
Okay.
So I thought I'd give that a try. So I soldered it onto the DAB board and moved it around in certain locations, and it worked a bit better, but not a lot better. It still kept dropping off. Okay. So what that looked like is we can.
Well, it's a little cover, very thin. Let's go with.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, and you know, its sheer size is quite small, and the frequencies for DAB, especially this particular radio station which we like listening to, is 202 megahertz. Okay. So I sort of thought, well,
It's in the VHF, right?
Yeah, VHF.
So,
Yeah. So I did a bit of research yesterday, day before, to try and think of coming up with a better antenna for it.
Okay.
And I thought what seemed to be the front runner was a full wave loop antenna, and calculated it out. 202 megahertz.
Yep.
Full wave loop is 1.5 meters in length.
Okay.
In the loop.
Yep.
So
1.5 meters of wavelength. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
wavelength. Yeah,
Yep.
full wavelength. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to try and come up with an idea of how am I going to put this.
Where am I going to hide 1.5 meters of,
Yeah,
of antenna?
yeah. So actually, before we do that, I wonder if we should look at the guts of the VHF UHF antenna.
Definitely.
So what I did was I chopped off the VHF UHF antenna, and I was going to throw it out, but I thought no, I'll open it up and see what's inside it. So is that not going to zoom in? Shall I fire this up?
Oh, it really
Almost
the
did.
depth of field is really
Oh, okay, you got enough there. Haven't
you can see it.
Yeah.
There we go.
So that's what was inside that little VHF UHF antenna.
So there's a connector. There's a connector just here on the corner,
The little coax came up into there.
and then it's literally a huge big loop all the way into the centre. And there's an earth
You can see
an earth trace that goes around the outside. I'll just zoom out just a little bit. But a little PCB antenna. So there you go. That's a really fine track. I don't know how long that, you could probably calculate the average of how long that actually is, times 4. So, anyway, okay, interesting little antenna.
Yeah. Hey. So,
And that was inside. That was inside the box.
yeah,
So
it was worth opening it up and having a look at
definitely,
rather than throwing it out.
definitely.
So back to the full wave loop. Should we sit that over there?
Wow, definitely.
So the DAB radio is in the bottom left-hand corner, just a little portable radio. Takes batteries and also a DC plug. And that blue tape that's on the back of that picture just happens to be 1.5 metres around the outside.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if you want to
Which way do
scroll
I go?
across to the right, that's to the left.
Oh, sorry.
To the right. There. Here we go. And there you go.
Look at that.
And you wouldn't even know it's there.
It's just an electrified picture, really.
Yeah, and the reception works really well. The
Excellent.
DAB radio has a bit error.
Readout.
Yeah,
So you can.
when you're selected in the menu.
Yep.
And I was using that to work out difference in fiddling around with moving it around. And when I put that up there, that's the best bit error rate that I can get, so
Yep.
the lowest number.
Okay.
And it doesn't drop out or break up or anything like that. So yeah, it's
Fantastic.
quite good.
I love it. And
Yeah.
what's your wife think?
She likes it because she likes the radio station that we listen to and gets annoyed when it drops off. So she's happy for that to be there.
So
Yeah.
she's got a solid radio station. So
Yeah. Yeah.
very happy.
So that was my antenna build for Australia Day.
220 megahertz full wave loop.
202.
202. Sorry.
Yeah, 202 megahertz.
202.
Full wave loop.
There you go.
Worked well.
I love it.
I also read that you should use 75 ohm coax a certain length to match it and all that. I didn't think I needed to do that.
From a receiving
for a
point of
receiver.
view, no.
Yeah.
If it's somewhere near resonance, which by the sounds of it is,
Yeah.
hey, you're
Yeah.
in the ballpark.
So-
That's fantastic.
And
So
getting the result that I'm happy with. So
well, that's an excellent Australia Day activity. So good stuff. Good stuff. And how's the radio control hobby going?
yeah, it's still going. We have a regular fly with the club that I'm with.
Okay.
They fly most weekends, not every weekend. It all depends on weather.
Okay.
And because the majority of the members in the club are retired, if it's a good weather day, they go out flying. So it's so to be retired.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
A few more years to go.
Yeah.
And the boats?
Yes, yeah, the sailing's going well. I've just replaced one of my hulls on the DF65 yacht because the old hull was starting to get cracks in it and leaking and getting water in it.
Okay.
So next Tuesday's the sailing day, so I'm looking forward to that.
New hull.
With the new hull, it'll be all nice and shiny and slippery, and I might be able to go a bit faster. And on the 6th of March, Sunday the 6th of March, at Puddle Duck Vineyard, I've put a bit of an ad in here.
Okay.
A founder of Puddle Duck Vineyard, a bloke by the name of Peter Smith.
Okay.
He passed away, and so what the and as we sail at Puddle Duck Vineyard, they have a memorial race every year in early March, and this year it's Sunday the 6th of March. So it's a memorial race where there's prizes.
Ooh, okay.
First, second and third prize that the Puddle Duck provides. So
okay.
First prize is 3 bottles of wine.
Ooh, from Puddle Duck?
From Puddle Duck.
Yes,
They're really nice wine.
Yeah.
Second prize is 2 bottles of wine.
Okay.
And third prize is 1
let
bottle
me guess,
of wine.
And
And there's a perpetual trophy that they engrave the winner. And so far, for all the years that they've been doing it, one person's won it every time. This Lisa is a fantastic sailor.
Okay.
And when she comes out and sails and puts a serious face on, you just can't beat it. She's just excellent. It's just magic to watch. It's really, really good.
Okay. And a fantastic memorial to the guys.
Yeah, because he was a sailor in his day as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so he rather enjoyed it when the yachts were sailing on the dam at Puddle Duck, and
bit of diversification.
Should be a good day.
Excellent. March the 6th.
Yes.
Okay.
Sunday.
Sunday, March the 6th. Cool. All right. Well, we might do a bit of a reset, and you're welcome to stick around. Because I have some things to show you, which is a bit of a precursor to now, as you know, people during summer we have tropospheric ducting, which happen.
Battery.
Right. Don't you love the timing?
It's been a flat battery.
And there is some. Given I was home today and doing work in and around the shack, I have 6 meters whisper going in the background, and 6 meters whisper. Because I'm there during the day, I actually get to see the waterfall as it goes past, and there are some fascinating effects. And this is Hayden's absolutely rock crushing signal, but you'll notice it's not rock crushing here and not rock crushing here, but right in the middle of that 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes from line to line. Right in here, it went absolutely rock crushingly strong for probably 30 or 40 seconds. Now that's fascinating. That's again same arrangement. Here's Hayden's signal again. It's a very strong signal because it's coming from Mount Nelson, so he's basically firing over me. But very strong. Absolutely rock crushingly strong, very strong. So it's just absolutely fascinating. And this is it. I took one of here. That's 2 minutes between there and there. So literally for probably 10, 15, maybe 20 seconds in the middle, different conditions. So just absolutely fascinating to watch this sort of stuff. That's his signal normally. And see, it's pretty consistent the whole 2 minutes. Yeah. But you can see there are obviously just propagation changes or something's different. Now the other thing I was going to show you here was, see this little signal here? This little signal here? right in the middle of the 2 minutes, no more than probably 20 seconds, resulted in a -31, which is the limit of whisper. That's one of the things that jumped out at me. That's the absolute limit. That's -31 below the noise floor. From VK4Z, now that's a competition station. That's a 4-letter competition station. But the key thing was, that was a decode of -31 with literally
tiny
20 seconds of signal. Whereas, you know, this one, you've got a complete 2 minutes of signal, and that's a strong signal. And there's Hayden down the bottom. Yeah. So it just absolutely fascinating. Now there is one more. Oh, I thought there was one more here. Hang on. Oh, no, there isn't. Okay. I thought I took another picture, but the fascinating thing there is 6 meters is called the Magic Band, and it's called the Magic Band because over the summer period, it can be, you can get absolutely rock-crushing signals. Hello, Larry. Absolutely rock-crushing signals for a moment and then nothing. So if you hear somebody calling, you very quickly make a contact with them, give them a signal report, and I've had the situation where as soon as I've gone back to them, they've gone.
Wow.
So it's called the Magic Band for exactly that reason. It's just magically they appear and magically they disappear. So so there you go. So anyway, that's a precursor to last weekend. Richard, who I think's madly beavering away on his 10 gig big dish, so his 1.8 meter dish, for the open day, and that's Sunday. I'll just remind you, it's Sunday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Another ad.
Up here. If you're going to get sick of me saying this, but he's bringing the big dish up, and he's going to be doing some moon bounce with, I understand, with Rex. So they are going to basically be bouncing a signal off the moon, 2.6 seconds delay there and back, and that's to make a contact between Tolman's Hill and here via the moon, just to prove that there's 2.6 seconds of delay. So Richard's been beavering away at that, but Richard made a couple of contacts on the weekend. There were some fantastic conditions on the Hepburn charts across to New Zealand. And Roger, who is the amateur that was the other end of the world record-breaking attempt with Rex, went all the way across New Zealand to the other side, to our side of New Zealand, through the Alpine Pass, I understand, and set up and made some contacts with Richard, both on 23 centimetres and also on 10 gigs. So took advantage of fantastic propagation conditions. So that was Tropo across to New Zealand over a couple of thousand kilometres. So congratulations to Richard, really good. Richard went up to Mount Wellington, to the I think it was the car park just below the springs. You know, where you come around the corner and there's a bit of a little sort of lookout there. That's where he was set up and had the dish and everything pointed towards New Zealand. So congratulations to Richard, and we look forward to seeing the dish on Sunday. That's the open day from 11 till 3. If you haven't got that yet, and if you happen to be Facebook friends with me, you're probably going to be hammered over the next few days.
I should have had an ad on.
Open day. Now, I'm going to just give you a little bit of a taster. I'm not going to give you too much, but I'm just going to give you enough of a taster to wet your whistle. This is the Analog Devices Adalm. I never know how to say that. Anyway, Adalm Pluto. Now this is Analog Devices produce the analog to digital converter and a few of the other chips that are in this particular software-defined radio. It is a software-defined radio. It is, okay, based on the Analog Devices AD9363, which is what they describe as a highly integrated RF Agile transceiver, and the Xilinx FPGA. So that means there is a embedded Linux processor in there that runs all the glue that runs around this. Now, as it normally comes, it is spec'd from 325 megahertz to 3.8 gigahertz with a 61.44 megasamples per second sample rate. If you do a little bit of a software hack on it, where you can go in and change some configuration settings inside the device, what you end up with is a 70 megahertz to 6 gigahertz SDR with a 56 meg bandwidth. So you can actually sample 56 megahertz of anywhere between 70 to 6 gigs. And so from that perspective, and you can generate a signal actually all the way down to about 47 megs. And because you can generate these sort of frequencies up into the microwave, there is some interesting arrangements that allow you to use this on both 10 gigs and 24 gigs with multipliers and harmonic mixing. It is fully supported by MATLAB, by GNU Radio, and a number of the SDR software programs like SDR Sharp and a few of the others. So now just let me just bear with me. Now, one of that's the Langstone project. Now, the UK Microwave Group have taken the Pluto, and there is a very smart couple of guys who have come up with a Raspberry Pi and a touch screen, the Raspberry Pi touch screen or one of the other touch screens, and they have actually built a control surface for the Pluto and put a USB dongle on it so you can get audio in and out, and they've basically created a SDR that covers 70 megs up to 6 gigs as a project called the Langstone project. That's the Langstone project, and it's the UK Microwave Group that have come up with this. There's a couple of very nice. They've put this together. That's got the Pluto in it, the screen, the Raspberry Pi, the USB dongle, and a whole lot of connections that makes it look much more like a radio.
Nice case.
Well and truly. So what you actually need is the Pluto, Raspberry Pi 4.
Yep.
You need the power of the 4. A 7-inch, either a 7-inch Raspberry Pi screen, or there are 2 other screens that are supported. USB dongle, and other bits and pieces, obviously the switches and sockets and all of that sort of stuff. USB dongle. Now, the interesting thing here is the control surface. They actually say you either use a USB mouse with a thumb wheel, with the thumb wheel on it, and you adapt the actual thumb wheel to be a encoder to change the frequency. Oh. So this is the inside of a USB mouse, with basically the switches brought out to separate switches, and then the thumb wheel brought out to a little optical rotary encoder. Or you can use an Arduino Pro microboard, which is the really small little Arduino, and use some rotary encoders, to do the tuning knob and all of that sort of stuff. So So there's a couple of options there. That's the different touch screens, DF Robot or the Hyperpixel touch screens. You use a couple of the GPIO pins on the Pi for the switches and bits and pieces. Here's the sort of figures you can get out of it. It's 70 megs, it's minus 6 dB, 144, 1 dB, output 432, it's 3.5, so that's about the peak. 1296, so 23 centimeters, it's 2.5 dBm. 2.4, it's 1. 3.4, it's 0, so you can still operate at 3.4, but you need to probably think about putting an amplifier in there. 5.7, you're actually at minus 3, and at 10.368, you're at minus 30. But you're still generating a 10.368 megahertz signal that, yes, you have to boost up, and you have to do some filtering and bits and pieces. You can see here, and one of the key things here is it's got no filtering from a bandpass point of view. And so you really need to think about some bandpass filters for each of these frequencies if you're wanting to transmit with it.
It's a few harmonics out.
Oh well, and see, one of the reasons why the amateur frequencies are structured in the way they are is each one of these is an upper harmonic. So the harmonics that are generated down at those lower frequencies will only ever appear in other amateur frequencies further up. So there's a bit of a rhyme to reason there as to how they structured the spectrum allocation. All sorts of bits and pieces in here. Tells you how to do the hack, which I've done on mine. This is the 10 gig operation. You need to filter out. You program it for 2.0736 gigahertz, and then you filter. Basically, you filter that out, and you've got a little cavity filter that you can filter that out with. And the 24 gig operation. Yeah, that I think is probably really stretching it, but there's people playing with it at 24 gigs. So anyway, I have all of the pieces. I now have the Pluto. It literally arrived. It took 2 days to arrive from Hong Kong. Would you believe? Which I couldn't believe. I ordered it and I thought, oh, this is going to be a while, and it took 2 days, and it came out of Mouser. So those people who buy electronic components will know what I'm talking about. Mouser, they obviously have some pretty good delivery type arrangements. But so that's the Pluto.
Clearly not being affected by that.
They do. They do. Well, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Alan just confirmed that Mouser do deliver very quickly. Very nice little case. This is transmit and receive, and they come with 2 little dinky antennas that I doubt are tuned for too much. But just playing with it, starting to play with it now. I want to do an in-depth on it. And once I start getting the Langstone bits and pieces together for it to control it, I'll certainly be showing that as we go through. But basically, it's a 70 meg to 6 gig SDR, and can also be taken up to even further. So and it's created by Analog Devices as basically a bit of a teaching platform. So it's a active learning module. There's all of these modules for GNU Radio. There's all of these modules for MATLAB, and there's all of this sort of stuff. And it's basically a learning platform for software-defined radio and RF engineering. So it's really handy for the amateur microwave bands too. So so anyway, that's the Pluto, and if you have a look, if you go searching for which SDR do I buy, you'll probably have this in the list, because if you want to go into the VHF, UHF and microwave bands, this is the one that most developers recommend. So anyway, that's the Adalm Pluto. So good and fantastic documentation. Can I just say, I've done everything to do the hack, to put in the drivers, to do the extra bits and pieces with SDR Sharp and a few of the other bits and pieces that I use. All really well documented, and it all works. So really good support. And
USB-C?
No, just USB. Just USB-C, is that
Yeah,
C?
I think it's C, USB-C.
Yeah, well, it probably is actually. You're right. I just assumed it was normal USB, but you're absolutely right, because to get the bandwidth out of that... No, I'm not sure it is, Ron. I'm actually not sure it is. Anyway, I'll check that out. But great little module. And watch this space. It puts out about 1.5 milliwatts in the transmission side. And that's at about 2.4 gigs. That varies depending on the band. A bit higher down in the 70 centimetre and 2 metre area. A bit lower further up. So anyway, that's the Pluto. Oh, and hello, Richard. How is the dish going, Richard? How is the moon bounce demonstration dish going? I'm expecting big things. we'll let him absorb that. Now, 5.7 gig. I won't. Oh yeah, well, no, we'll do it. Can I get you to bring one of those dishes in, just the first one, and put it there?
Just watch out for that bit.
Yeah. That's all right. We'll do the 5.8 gig dishes for the open day. Oh, did I mention the open day? It's this Sunday, Sunday the 30th, from 11 until 3 p.m. And thank you, Ron. No, that's all right. That's great. So do a bit of a spin. No, not you. The dish. Dear, oh dear. Everybody wants to be a. So that's the back of it. You can see the LED screen, the camera on top, and then you can see the instructions on the dish as well. And there are 7 channels that we can there's 6 channels we can use, because one of the channels is actually outside the amateur band. So we've got to steer clear of those. If we spin it round, actually you can just spin it round it'll spin round. Yeah. So there we go. So you can see the feed, the back of the feed. Transmitter and receiver, different polarizations. You can see there. So I've got a little bit of polarization separation there. Yep, that's the transmitter and receive side. The camera is on the transmit side, so that's I purposely, and you'll notice on the other one, the camera's on the other side because the transmitter's on the other side. And so that's the feed. It's a 400mm dish. It gives us about 25, hang on, I'm just going to read, 25 dB of gain at 5.7 gigs, so a reasonable amount of gain. You've got, these are reputed to be 1 watt output transmitters. Now I'm not sure about that, but can't find much on them, but they do put out a reasonable amount of power, and an awful lot more power than most AV senders. So if they are truly 1 watt output with 25 dB of gain, you're getting about 300 watts out the front of the dish. Ooh. So from a gain point of view, so a reasonable amount of gain. So anyway, that's they'll be on display. You'll be able to talk over them and watch people on them. So there's 2 of them at the open day this Sunday, the 30th, from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. So there you go. And hello, Murray. Murray's chimed in. I hope it's all going well, Murray, and things are settling down. We'll wrap it up at that point, unless you've got something else, Ron?
No.
Something else? Oh, hang on. Let's come back up here so we can actually see.
You might have to remind us of that open day again.
Oh, the open day. Yeah, that'll be the Reast open day. That's this Sunday, the 30th, from 11 a.m. till 3. There will be a bucket load of activities going on up here, including, I'll just say, Richard's online, the moon bounce. And Murray, I've got the SOTA stand covered, so you don't have to worry about that. So the SOTA stand is covered, and we've got operations, we've got Alara, we've got SOTA, we've got DATV, we've got Morse code, we've got optical communications, we've got barbecue, sausage sizzle with onions on top, underneath, over the round, all through, whatever. Barista coffee. Our resident barista Tony will be baristaing his little thing off.
Soft drinks.
Definitely. So if you're looking for a bit of amateur radio nerdiness, I thought I'd say that, and find out what amateur. Training and assessment. That's the other thing. How do I become an amateur radio operator? There'll be a stand about that as well, and they'll be operating the club station, and we'll be in here, and all sorts of things going on. So 11 till 3. And Tas Maritime Radio next door will be open, so you can have a look in the museum and have a look at the operations room if they're not on a sked, or you can watch the sked through the window. So it will all be happening up here. Apparently the weather is good, so yes. Richard, hoping for it to all be finished. Mechanical assembly almost done. Have begun rebuilding the 3 centimetre system this evening. Good luck, Richard. Fantastic. That's excellent. Look forward to seeing it, and it'll be a very impressive display at the open day. That's this Sunday. 11 till 3. So anyway, without further ado, the videos tonight for our RF viewers, there are a few on the Pluto, so you can get a bit of insight into the Pluto. And there's another one that's very interesting called "I Hacked Into My Own Car," about hacking the rolling codes on your keyless entry. So there's a bit of an interesting little video there. So anyway, that's our videos for tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll head out and we'll start setting up for the open day. That's Sunday, 11 till 3. So we'll catch you around N73, and thank you, Ron.
It's okay.
And we'll catch you next time. And we'll have a bit of a wrap up on the open day. That's Sunday, 11 till 3. 73. Cheers.